Hello everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. I'm Rohit and this is the 11th sessions of the catalog real-time training. In this training, we'll talk about the flow, and the last sessions we talk about the basic flow and how we can create the flow and how we can set up all those stuffs, basic stuffs. So today we'll go through the requirement first in my Excel sheet, that what we are going to be implement, and based on that we'll actually implement in our flow. So without wasting time, let's get started. So if you see here in this form, we are taking that manager email address, we are taking that user phone number, user full name, email address. So because this catalog item is basically created for external group access, it means that the user might be not available to my system, and the group that I am trying to add the user, yeah, that user also all the group also might not be present to the ServiceNow system. So maybe it is present to the Okta, maybe it is present to that LDAP, maybe it is present to that one login, Salesforce, different application, the group. So I can't do anything in my system. I can do the integration for the couple of things. We can do the integration, but maybe not for all. Okay, in that case, what we'll do, we are I created a unique the flow. So let's go through the flow first and then we'll implement that flow in our this catalog item. The flow is pretty much simple. So this part we have already done. We'll send a mail to manager and the unique DL for system. So it means that first we'll send a mail to a manager, and unique DL means that if you select AD, the DL will be different. If you select Okta, it will be different DL. If you select one login, the DL will be something different. If you select Salesforce, the DL will be something different. So, so basically, the DL will be depending on based on the system you select. The DL will be the different. Basically, that's what I'm trying to make that. And next thing is that after that, whatever we will pass the DL, it will be sent to a particular DL. Next is that it will be generate a approval, and in this approval, what we'll do that mm, basically the some specific groups, maybe that external group admin or something, some specific from the specific group, we should get an approval. Then third step is that we are generating a task for user verification, and maybe user verification and maybe manager approval, verification and manager approval. So what it will be do? So basically, in this task, the actual fulfillment, who is going to be fulfilled, they will check that user is properly fill their information properly or not, and the manager is sent a mail that approve or reject. So we use from the system will send a mail to manager, and manager will revert back as a approve or reject. So based on that, they will close this task or close complete. After, I mean, this approval, these things will be taken care of from them. Now we have a call add. We have a two parallel task. One is the add user to the external group, and another is the as user to the billing cycle. So these two will be the parallel task. And finally, after that, we are going to notify the user. So this is our complete steps. So let's go through one by one. So in our flow, if you remember in last time, so far we have done this one. So I am not going to do implement that unique DL right now because it will be a little bit tricky. I'm not going to do this one right now. So this send mail to the manager is already done. If you see this send mail to the manager, it's already done. When you go to the next step is that generate approval for a group. So we need to take a approval from a specific group. For that, I'm going to add a steps here. Click here, actions, and under this system core, we have a ask for approval. We'll select that, and by that, we'll take a approval. For which record we are taking that? We are taking the approval for the trigger record, the requested item. And then here, if you see, we have a options called approve or reject, and then we have to here we have to choose a rule. So we are going to take a approval from a group. So anyone can approve from the groups. We'll say that it's a approve, and here we'll select the groups. So how we select the groups? We'll go and specifically, as I mentioned, that we'll take a specific group approval. So might be we'll take that Alabama dispatch, the same groups. From there, we'll take a approval. Okay. So once we get the approve, so we'll put the condition flow logic if um, approve. This is the conditions. What we will select the step number 3, approver status is approved. If somebody approve, then we are going to do some steps. Okay. And else, and we'll select that flow logic else if rejected, and we are going to take some action. So we will select that is rejected, we will take some action. So both two things can be happen here. Either somebody can approve or somebody can reject it. So if somebody approve, we'll take some action. If somebody reject it, we'll do some actions. So what we'll do, if somebody rejected, we will update this RITM is closed incomplete. For that, what we'll do in this days, in this case, we'll select action, and again here system code, and then we will update the record. So update record, we'll select that, and here we'll select the trigger condition, this record, and state we will select as closed incomplete. Okay. So in this case, if you see that once somebody rejected, we will close incomplete, the state we will close incomplete. So I'll do an annotation. So I, by mistake, I do the duplicate one, so I'll close that one. I will do annotation called closed incomplete for rejected. So if somebody rejected, we will close incomplete, and here after that we will add the stages. So if you hover over, you have options called stage, add stage. You can say the stage is, in this case we don't have any stage, while select that complete. So this stage will be completed. Now in this case, if somebody approved, so what will be happen in this case, we also add a stage here for approve. What stage we will select, that will create a call waiting for approval, for waiting for approval. So this will be my another stage. So if somebody approve, what will be happen as per the flow, if somebody approve, will generate a task for user verification and user verification and the manager approval verification. So both the, for both the purpose, will generate a task. So let's go back to the catalog task. We already created a catalog task. I'll just simply attach here. In this task, what we are doing that we update that work notes called user verification and manager verification. Okay. So I will update the short description, and I will add the description also to user verification, and then this verification, and in this case that will verify by support, some support team. So we will say that this support team will be maybe verify, and in this case we don't need all these stuff. So I am not going to include any of this variable for that, for the timing. Once this catalog task is done, what we'll do, we will run these two parallel tasks. One is the add user to the groups and add user to the billing cycle. So these two tasks will do that. So for that, what we'll do, we are going to run a parallel logic because those two will run parallelly. So first it will generate or it will create a catalog task. So let's do that. Catalog task, or create catalog task, and in this case it will be add user to the external group. So it will generate a catalog task for this group. So we'll say that, and here we will select assignment group, and in this assignment group we will select that some group we are going to who are going to add a user to the group. And here we are going to select one thing called we are going to show one variable called this variable access status. This variable, as I mentioned, that this variable will be only available on the catalog task. So there will be one more parallel task. So we are going to create two parallel tasks. So create catalog task, and this time it will be for add billing cycle, add user to the billing cycle. So let's do that. So we will go back here and then add billing cycle, and here assignment groups will select that billing cycle, something like that, billing support groups, and uh, done. So these two tasks will be run parallelly, and after that what will be happen, we will validate that one condition. So flow logic, if uh, both implementation task success. So we'll validate that both the implementation task is success or not. So first we will in this catalog task, what we'll check that that this task for you can see the billing purpose, that this task, right? So I will put the condition here, this catalog task state is close complete or not. And if you see here, we have a one variables which is access status, and that has to be success. For that, what we'll do, I will select here get variable access status has to be success. So if it is success, then it will be performed, it will be sent a notification. For that, what we'll do, we will send a email. To whom we are going to send, we are going to send that user email. We will send the user that your access has been processed, something like that. And in case it is fail, right? So in case it is fail, what will be happen, I just copy that, so we'll use that in the bottom here. So I just copy, and here I will add that flow logic else, and in this else we will add this one. So in case it is not success, we will say that cannot process, something like that. So two things can be happen. Either both the task, if both the task is completed, it will get a mail to user that your access has been processed. If cannot be processed, it will say that your access cannot be processed. And yes, this all will be, if you see here in this fulfillment task, this is a fulfillment task. We'll add the stage equal to fulfillment. So add stage fulfillment, So this will be my stage here. For this also the stage will be remain same. We will add this stage here called fulfillment stage. And finally, after this, we will end this flow. So we will select that end flow here. And for this case also, we will select that flow is end. And here also, we can send that flow is end. So this is how we pretty much designed our flow. So let's activate that and see. So whenever we raise the request, it will go for a particular, it will send a mail, and then it will go for a particular user approval. If it is rejected, it will the process will be ended and it won't go further. If it is approved, it will be generate one task first, that is the this task, and once this task is completed, it will be generate two parallel tasks. If these two parallel tasks, the first task, I mean this task, both the tasks are success with the variables is that success, then it will be sent a success mail, otherwise it will be fail. So let's complete this. We need to do the couple of testing. So let's refresh our flow first. And once we order that, the first we'll go for the positive path. Everything we will check that everything is working as per our expected or not. The moment you submit the RITM, it should send a mail. So let's first go back to that emails. If we go to the emails log, uh, if we search with this RITM number, it should have one email, that external group access, and it's sent to the manager email address. If you see, this is the manager email address, and if we preview, this mail is generated. We have a lot of space, we can remove that. I don't know from where it is coming. We'll remove that, but these all are coming properly. And if you see in our flow, it's generate a group approval. So this is the group approval. So if I go back to the flow context here, this is the running flow which is running. If you see this, send email is done, ask for approval is waiting. So it is waiting for approval. So let's first approve our one of this member. If somebody approve, so one of the member will be going to approve. Once it is approved, and if we refresh that, it will go and it is approved, and it will create a catalog task. So let's go back here, and definitely it will going to create a one catalog task. So if I scroll down, there is a one catalog task called MC refrigerator support. So who will verify the user and check the manager approval. So let's see, they all verified everything, and it is waiting for this catalog task needs to be fulfilled. So they, if you see in this catalog task, none of the variables are present because we don't select that variables, any of these variables. Now we'll close complete this task. Once we close complete, we have two parallel tasks. So these two parallel tasks and this complete steps is waiting because two parallel tasks needs to be completed. So very first the parallel, let's see, these parallel tasks are generated. One is the billing support. So, and one is the US president. So this one doesn't have any variable, but US president should have one variable called access status, which is fail or pass. So we'll select that success and close the task. So this is the positive scenario. And if I go back, there is one more task. This is the billing cycle. So I have just completed one task. So if you see here, stage, you can see the fulfillment because we set the stage from the from here. So you can see this RITM stage is in the fulfillment right now. So now if I go back to this is the another item billing cycle, we will mark as a closed complete. But if you see the flow at before that closing the task, one of the parallel task is completed, another parallel task is waiting. Once this is completed, this parallel flow will be completed. So let's complete this task. Once we complete this task, I will just refresh the flow, and it is failed. And because of that, it's that uh, actually we don't set any value here. So let's see that emails, it will send the email that it is failed. But why? we You can say that it's yet a user access cannot process, because it go to this this else block some reason. So due to some reason it did not success. I cannot find out right now, but we'll check the further. But if you see our requirement sheet, we have a requirement called we need to send unique DL. So if somebody select the system equal to AD, we need to send a message to different. If it is Okta, we need to send the message different. If it is one login, we need to send the different DL. So this is not possible until unless we create basically our own you know actions. So we until unless we create our own action, it is not quite possible. For that, what we'll do, I will create a actions. So I'll go back and action here. We'll say that based on return system DL. So this might be my action name, and I will just submit that. So other steps are not necessary. So what I'll do, I'll take the input. The first input will be so here we can do a lot of stuff. So I'll go for the simple one. So I'll take an input. That input will be that system name, and here it will be string and mandatory. Okay, and based on that we'll do a run script. We'll add that run script, create a variable. So we'll take from input system. So we'll take input from the system, and whatever input you will pass, based on that, call if inputs dot parameter equal to something. We will set one output, and else we will select another output. Okay, so if it is AD, we will take one another. Else if input dot parameter equal to one login. We'll go back to the RITM and what all the system we have. Let's first see. So AD Okta, we do have the Okta. So let's see Okta. We will have another, else we will have one more DL. So based on the DL, it will be sent the unique mail. So what we'll do, we'll create the output variables called uh, email, and then we'll use this one as a output dot email equal to ad@gmail.com. Here we'll say that Okta @gmail.com, and here we'll say that others @gmail.com. And then output, we'll create one more output called that email, and here we'll exit that mode and map to our script variable. So if you need to learn more step by step, you can go and watch my flow designer playlist. where you can see all these steps, how we can create the actions and everything. So in these steps, what we'll do, we'll try to add first that actions called return system DL. See that is available or not, or else we need to refresh that. So it is available return system DL, and here we need to pass system name. How can we pass that? We will pass from here like get variable, and then, and in this send email, what we'll do, in these two along with the manager name, we will pass that return system DL email address. Okay, so let's save that and activate that, and rest one more time, see that what is happening in our system. Now I'll simply activate that. So every time if you make any changes, your flow needs to be reactivated to see the latest changes. So we just activated that flow. Now I'll simply go back to the RI team and raise the request one more time quickly. So we are going to select the AD. So the email will be the different, and submit. Now going back to the RITM, I just raised from the native view. That's the reason, everything is showing. Now, if I go back to the flow context, I'll just show the email, and then the rest I'm not going to be worried. So if you see here, that return email is executed, and what it's returned ad@gmail.com, because we selected as a AD as part of this requirement. We selected the system equal to AD, and if you see the sent email, it sends that a@g.com is the manager email, and then ad@gmail.com, that is the system email. So if I go back to the emails, I also will be able to see the same thing here. You can see ad@gmail.com. It sends the both. So based on the unique each and every unique, it is sending that email. So these all are done, I guess. So except one requirement that we'll do our in our next case, next sessions, because this is pending. We did not cover that on submit client script. So this part. So we are going to cover this part in our next sessions. That only one in a day only we can raise one time for a particular user. So this functionality will complete in our next session. Till the time, thank you very much. Have a great day.